So welcome to the M.A.D house here in Carouge. So this is the headquarters of MB&F International. We moved here 2 years ago, right? The whole idea here was for Max to find a place which was matching MB&F spirits, which is traditional watchmaking with the crazy ideas that he has and comes out of his mind. And here all together what you have is the tradition of old houses here in Carouge that was built in 1906. So it's over 100 years old. This is a historical building and it was elected the nicest house in the Canton de Genève. We unfortunately do not own the walls. We are renters. We rent from a family here that has most of the areas in Carouge and that they did not want to lend the house to anybody, right? So the fact that we are a traditional watchmaker, independent watchmaker was really a good thing for us because they appreciate that and they were happy to have us. A little bit about the house. It used to belong to a family which were enamels maker. That's why you have it here everywhere around this room and in other floors as well. And we're gonna go together in a tour and you'll see much more of what's hidden in this gem. Here you have Henry. He's joined us a few years back. He's working as after sales. You know, it's very important for MB&F that we are able to service every MB&F watches ever produced, from HM1 to the latest one, which is the LM sequential flyback. I mean, it is what we know, it's the savoir-faire, and we don't want it to be lost. And any customers that will buy an MB&F could be reassured that we will always be able to service it and have it function. But you know, there's also Max, and Ali, you know, Max is always thinking ahead. He always said that if anything happens one day to MB&F, which we hope not, he will put all the plans of MB&F watches in the public domain so people could access it. So even though MB&F does not exist as a brand, it still live on and people can service the watches. So please come on in. So we don't really like the word, but it's part of the watchmaking industry, the word industrialization. But this is not what it's all about here. It's not about industrialization. It's about putting in place process. As I mentioned, we'll help the watchmakers to do what they do best. And you know, MB&F, what are we famous for is our craziest watches, the crazy design, and all those tools, they do not exist, right? So you don't have any other brands that work on HM11s. So for the watchmakers to actually assemble the watch, you need to create the tools that goes along. So that's what they're doing here. We work a lot with 3D models, right? So this is HM11 Architects, and all the tools have to be created up front so the watchmaker can work themselves. Here are a few things that we are quite proud of. Today, MB&F is able to manufacture 80% of our cases, 100% of the legacy machine cases. So the legacy machine cases are the round-shaped ones, right? That we have another location. It's called Le Clos de la Fonderie, where we have all the CNC machines and those heavy machines, which we could not have it here because if you look at the floor, wooden floor, those machines would just go straight to -1. We are also able to produce some components of our watches, such as the flying bridge for the massive balance wheel that you have in our legacy machines and some of our horological machine, such as HM10, the Bulldog. Very important, MB&F is Maximilian Busser and friends. The friends part is very, very important. It is very important for several reasons. One being that relationship is a key value at MB&F because this is how the whole adventure started. And today it also is important for us because when we go see our suppliers to make sapphire crystal, which are nothing like you would find or they are used to do, this is HM8 Mark II, we call it the double bubble here. When we go see them and we ask them kindly, please, could you do that? Or HM9 SV, which is crazy round shape. And then they say, yeah, we can try, and say, oh, by the way, it's only going to be a limited edition of 5 pieces. So once again, no economy of scales, neither for them nor for us. Why an oven? It's for all those sapphires with weird shapes to actually have them on the case. So there's a process that our head watchmaker Didier is in charge of, which is not here today. So basically what we do is that we heat the oven very hot up to 782 degrees for an hour. And then there is a cooling down process over 7 hours, very slowly, so it doesn't make any bubble or nothing. And then basically he puts it in the oven at night and comes back in the morning, and they are basically ready. And then he has to check everything. Once again, does it make sense? Not really, but we wanted to have the most clear sapphire vision possible. So this is why we came with HM9 SV, where here is basically both crystal glass coming together. And that means that if you have to service the watch, you have to unglue everything, start from scratch. Maybe you damage the glass, you have to get a new one. And so it does not make sense financially, but we do it because we believe this is craftsmanship, this is a pure passion, and we wanted to have this result. The watchmaking atelier. Bonjour, bonjour. So here was the dinner room. That's where you have the cocktails, the parties, and this is where you have dinner. So I'll let you imagine how big of a table you can have here, how many guests you can host. But that today is where a watchmaker are assembling the watches. This is where I would say the magic happens. So we have a total of 6 watchmakers working every day on MB&F creations. What is very important for MB&F is that all watchmaker is working on their own watches from A to Z. Meaning that from the first screw to attaching the strap at the end, one person is working on a watch. We are super lucky that since MB&F was founded, all the watchmakers that joined the company are still working in the company. So for example, that LM101 you're wearing, the serial number we can check and you can meet. I mean, today there's only 2 now still here, but you would meet the watchmaker that assembled your watch. So this is the quality control room. So everything that he's delivered from the outside, whether it's done by MB&F or by our suppliers, first step is this room. This is where we're gonna actually focus on, is on the base plate. What you see here is basically a mapping with all the holes of the base plate, where you have to check all the points one by one. That's the software here, and what you see here at the right is each holes that Cyril is checking one by one. So you see there's a roadmap, there's arrows, so we have a roadmap, so it tells you where to go, so you can move. Here we're going right, up and down, and you have to calibrate the holes, and it gives you whether it's the good size, whether it's at the good place on the base plate, and of course if it's 1 millimeter to the left, then when you assemble the movement, the place that's supposed to go there just can't fit. It's my favorite complication. Perpetual calendar, it's just insane how people, even today, but people back in the day just could invent something like this with the leap year. And Stephen McDonald is, is a self-taught watchmaker, so he has not had the classical training of watchmakers, so he's basically reconsidering every complication ever made because he doesn't have the mind of a watchmaker, right? So he's like, well, why are you doing it like this? I would have done it like that. So here, for example, he inserted clutches and security, so it's the easiest perpetual calendar in the market to be set. So you can just, because that's always the thing about perpetual calendar. You buy it, people set it up for you, you wear it, you're super happy, you stop wearing it for a week, 2 weeks, you come back, it's not set anymore, you have to send the kids away, you lock yourself in a room, you take your computer, you book, and you need to be in peace because you know the chances to break it and have it sent back is very high. Here, if you push one of the pusher and you would have broken the movement, there's security which is engaged, so nothing happens. So you just wear it whenever you want and you can set it so easily, it's fantastic.